Okay, hello folks. Welcome to this presentation on the BBA in management. Okay, so hopefully you're sitting nice and comfortable. We've got a relatively comfortable room in here to view things. I got to thinking when I came up here today on a Saturday during this info day. Quite a lot of people here, right? Today, you were getting through all the crowds and everything. It's kind of a big buzz, and I was coming up the escalator, up the escalator to this place here, and having a look at the view, this amazing view here, and it made me think. Why do people choose to do this particular program? Why do people choose to do this? And it's a very interesting question to get the specifics about why they are interested in this particular case here. So I think there's a few possible answers to that. I mean, obviously one is, we have a certain university here, certain pedigree, it's got a certain age, it's got some credibility. Credibility is very important. But there's other nice things about the whole environment here. Are you feeling your lungs maybe having nice clean air, stuff like that? Yeah. So yeah, I can really appreciate that after having worked in various other universities in other parts of Hong Kong. It's all good. But yeah, certainly, the lungs are doing well here. But the other kind of things you obviously are thinking about is the sort of the pedigree, the type of teachers that we have, the kind of researchers, the kind of students and so on that we're sort of looking for as well. Yeah, welcome. Feel free, find a seat. And there's still a few seats left, and there's always a few stairs to sit on if you need to. Yeah, make yourself comfortable. Yeah, welcome everybody. Still coming in here. Oh, we're popular today. This is good news. So, why would we choose to come here? Now, one of the things that I really noticed when I first came here to do a proper tour of this department, the management department, the one big deal I found was people are friendly. I mean, they're really friendly in our department, and this is a really important thing for you folks because, that we have our nice support teams and so on to help you think about the various options in the program. But it's just welcoming. It's a very welcoming and friendly kind of place. I mean, I've been working here for 3 years now, 2.5 years. And it's very, very comfortable, and it's very easy to talk to people and ask questions if you need to as well. So I recommend, I do encourage you to ask questions. So yeah, we have some amazing teachers, some very good researchers, cutting edge research in management, and an amazing support team to support everything else as well, including the general level of commitment we have to our students. So these things are all important factors that you might want to consider about this particular program. So let's have a look now. So we're talking here really about management in general. Basic management functions. This is actually one of those slides we tend to show in some of our management general management courses. And as you can see, we have this, planning, organizing, staffing, directing, controlling, the basic functions of management. Very, very, very important. I don't know, maybe just looking around you, maybe there are some managers already in the room. I suspect there are, right? You probably already have an idea about some of these concepts. I can see some heads nodding, probably some very interesting stories as well. These functions they include a lot of very human skills, the sort of psychological and human side as well. Now, I think some people might be interested in this because it's a very important consideration in today's world where we have AI, artificial intelligence, we have interesting changes happening in general, world turning more multipolar and the human side of things becoming more exciting in some sense, as well as the technical growing as well. So this human professional side is obviously very important, and that face-to-face human side of things is going to be very important as well to develop as a skill and to maintain as a skill. even when we have robots running factories and AI doing all kinds of interesting, some of the old jobs, right? Some of the old professions. And of course, this is also in the context of, we have lots of interesting examples in Hong Kong, of course, as being such a logistics place, logistics hub, with a lot of interesting things going on, so much business, so much organization, so much entrepreneurism as well. Okay, so that's the basic concept there. The management functions that we have to consider building in our students, very, very important functions. So there are some choices as well. We like to give our students choices. Now, these are our major requirements, and you always want to think about major requirements as part of your choice. Now, these are only a few choices that we have. I can direct you towards our team here who can give you more specifics on some specific aspects. But the choices here are very interesting. What we have here, for example, you can choose between human resource management as a very important subject or managerial leadership. And of course, HRM, human resource management, being a very important subject, for hiring the best people you can get for your business, for training them, for compensation, getting that balance right in the business is a very important aspect of management. And also managerial leadership. I don't know how many of you have become a manager in your own life, and you've had to deal with a team. You've had to build a team and encourage and mentor people throughout. And this is what we teach here in our courses. So you can choose between one and the other. Also, we have a choice between judgment and decision making and negotiation. So, judgment is decision making. How many decisions have you already had to make in your life, right? These crucial times, these crucial decision making points. Obviously, we're talking in the business context here, but this is one of those very transferable skills you can use in lots of different situations. Crucial decisions. Obviously, it's not. We already have basic methods. You can just flip a coin and play bao jin dup or something like that, right? That's some kind of decision making we have. We have real models. We have real technical models to help decision making. We teach technical related decision making systems as well. Negotiation. Yeah, how many people in the room here have had to negotiate something? Negotiate a pay raise, negotiate for a particular business, negotiate a particular contract, right? Again, another really crucial skill, very important thing to develop in management to a professional level, right? So this is a very important thing. In our negotiation classes, actually, it's one of those things, it's so important to get the face-to-face. We actually have people facing off against each other pretty much from the start all the way through, and then trying to learn how to get to those better end negotiation points to optimize negotiation. So, very important. So you can choose between one or the other there. Corporate strategy or entrepreneurship. Strategy, well, corporate strategy as well. Corporate strategy, quite a high level conceptual idea, right? Taking your vision and mission of your business, looking at your resources and thinking of them strategically to direct your company. This is very important, very high level, top level subject versus, I don't know, how many entrepreneurs might there be in the room here in this particular Hong Kong context with people just across the boundary. There's probably quite a few, I would expect. In my classes, I often ask in the first year, how many of you would like to become an entrepreneur? You've got some ideas about a business. Usually a few hands go up. By the third year, fourth year, a lot more go up, right? There's a lot of entrepreneurial thinking that gets developed and that gets encouraged in this particular context, and it's a very exciting situation. So yeah, strategy, entrepreneurship, options you can choose. And of course we have elective courses, any three management courses as well. We have choice. Again, these are decision points that you can discuss with our team, that you can look at the finer points of this as well. Okay, what else? What are essentials? Our general essentials, very important. So we teach all this stuff. We teach it all. As you can see, all the way from HRM, human resources, going all the way down decision making, that crucial central point, all the way across, organizational behavior. We need to know how organizations work so we can survive in an organization. Very important, surviving, but also to lead, right? And building organizations, understanding these are very important. Strategy, of course, as I mentioned. Entrepreneurship, as I mentioned. Anyone fancy being a consultant? Yeah, the consulting options there, very important. Understanding how to work with people in this particular context. Getting much broader and global with international management. And this is a very important final point here, which is ever-changing, CSR, corporate social responsibility, or sustainability, as they say. Whenever I talk to business people in Hong Kong, for example, they're always talking about sustaining the business, right? Sustain the business as much as you can, and obviously try and leaving the world in a good state as well. So these are the essentials that we teach. It's an honor, actually. It's quite an honor to be working in a place like this. I'm teaching track. I focus very much on teaching. I like my teaching as a subject. I like interacting with students and helping them to learn. And it's amazing. I'm absolutely surrounded by some extremely good teachers. And they are very interactive. For example, I've been encouraged to do more simulations in class. You know simulations? You can run these modern simulations online simulations, working with groups of people, students having fun running these sims. Very interesting stuff. So again, the sort of level of teaching excellence is pretty amazing, as you can see from all the lovely awards that we've been getting. Research as well, which is incredibly important because it supports everything else. The knowledge supports everything else. It's very encouraging to go to a lecture or a seminar with one of our, they teach as well, right? So whenever they're teaching anything, it's always supported by really interesting research. And whenever you ask a question, they can give you a very interesting response because of their research knowledge. This is kind of world-class researchers we have here. And the people who are coming in now as well, we're growing. The people who are coming in here as well are looking pretty good in terms of research, from all these fantastic journals, right? Really good stuff. Asia Pacific management journals. So good pedigree in that sense. Did I miss one? Yeah, this one. So other options, we have other options. We can do majors, right? We can do these things for management majors. Consulting. You can take a specialized area like consulting, go straight for consulting as a subject. And we have the expertise to help support people get that level of building the concepts, building the strategy, building the communication abilities, knowing how to deal professionally as a consultant, and also a little bit of networking, right? All the networking that you need. Very important subject there. So CSR, sustainability. One of my courses I teach is environmental business strategies. These things are, they're kind of ongoing and they're growing, they're changing all the time. It's a very interesting subject in itself. You can specialize in this kind of area, which is quite involved. There's a lot going on. It's a complex one. It's a very interesting one with an interesting future. What else do we have? HRM, of course. Working with people as a subject. It's one of those crucial ones. If you have that human resource as a resource, you can really go a long way. And having that ability to deal with people is very important. So you can build that. You can build that as a set of skills if you fancy going into that. I'm guessing people who really do have that human touch, right? The people with the human touch might be interested in that side of things, the human resource side. Okay, so what do you think? Let's think about our 6. We've got 6 reasons here. I'm sure you could think of other reasons. Yeah, well, you got your own ideas, I'm sure. But yeah, here are some, as we can see. Let's have a look at this. It's funny, actually. I'm a little bit biased myself. I go straight to this number 6 here because I like that bottom row. I really like it. I'm not sure why. I like critical thinking things through, not just having the basic answer, but having a good a good answer, right? Confidence, very important, confidence, and extremely important communication skills. One thing we do, I think most courses do this, is presentation, right? People standing up and presenting things and communicating clearly, communicating ideas really clearly. So I think that's my favorite anyway. Maybe I'm biased. But yeah, so professional skills to manage people is extremely professional, and resources, people and resources. Different kind of resources we have in business. So, dealing with that complexity is very important. Evaluating needs, and you can't predict the future. Can anyone here predict the future? Well, maybe if you can, we'll talk later, and you can give me some advice on my finances. As far as I know, we can't predict the future. We can anticipate, and we can build ahead. We can start planning ahead to do something to deal with it, right? To mitigate, to take opportunities and things like that, right? So again, anticipating future needs is a very important question. I always ask that question when people have something to submit. I always think, can you anticipate? Can you not predict? Can you plan ahead? What's going to happen? Can you think beyond stage one? That's a good question, right? Can you think beyond stage one? What's going to happen? Yeah, practical skills, planning, decision making, as I mentioned, problem solving. In general, all the way throughout our lessons in class, a lot of that goes on. I often get people in the round, having a chat, working through problem solving. Of course, very important, the latest research to support all that as well. And of course, highly interactive and transformative teaching approaches. Yeah, I mean, it was when I first came here. I came here 2.5 years ago, something like that, and I thought I was the innovative one. I thought I was the really creative teacher, but I'm surrounded by people who have extremely interactive classes. I mean, very, very good. I'm extremely impressed, and it picks me up every time I think about it. It's like, oh my goodness, I can learn, and we can spread ideas in a much more fun, interactive way, and that helps people advance their learning in a far more human way, in some sense. It's very interesting. All right, so these are possible reasons. Maybe you can think of some more. I'm sure you can. So careers and jobs, of course, let's think about the bottom line, right? Let's think about the careers, and maybe you might even consider your purpose in life, maybe something like that, if you're thinking that high level. Yeah. So look at that list: finance, logistics, telecoms, IT, utilities, government, education, consulting. That's a short list. That's a short list. I was looking at the list of different businesses and different kind of things that people go into afterwards. It's huge. Yeah, we're talking management here. So it's management, which is extremely adaptable profession. It's a very adaptable, very flexible profession. I've taught it in various places in Hong Kong, and it's a very interesting thing just bumping into people in the street and say, oh, yeah, how's it going? Yeah, I remember in your class. Yeah, how's it going? And they're always telling me what they're up to. And sometimes there's a kind of a circuitous route to their current place, and they're doing all kinds of interesting things, right? Maybe that's just the Hong Kong situation. But yeah, it's a very, very flexible. Yeah, obviously we have some big names here. Deloitte, auditor, yeah, not bad, right? Hang Seng Bank, relationships, quite a human side of things there. Management trainee, PCCW, HR, human resources, CLP. The list goes on. The list goes on. So this is the kind of thing we're thinking about here in terms of career. And I did mention entrepreneur-related things as well. There's plenty of options for those with ideas about what you want to do in future. Okay. Have anybody here seen the website? You check out the website, you foresighted people. Yeah, a few hands twitching up here and there. Yeah, do check out the website. It's a good one. Very clear. It'll talk about all kinds of interesting things that are happening in our department, various things that are going on. We are very active in general, so do check it out. And at the same time, as I mentioned, do approach our people. We've got a really good support team. I feel very supported in general, and they will give you some idea about the details, about the sort of the choices you might be interested in this particular program, the management program. So yeah, very a lot to consider there. And of course, we have our connections here, as you can see, the website and so on. Yeah. So I do encourage you to all explore and have a look around and talk to people from the department on level 1 here. Have a really good look around. Get your lungs full of more fresh air as well, and that'd be great. Yeah. Now, what I would like to do, we have someone who's already been through the process, been through the journey already, Victoria here. So, yeah, would you like to take the clicker?
Thank you.
Oh, thank you.
Why testing? Test. Hello. Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm really happy to be here today and to share my experiences with all of you. My name is Victoria, and I recently just graduated from the BBA in Management program here at HKUST. I still remember attending info sessions like this one, trying to figure out what to study and where I would fit in. And today, I hope my sharing can give you a little insight into what management is all about and why it might be the right choice for you. To be honest, when I first applied HKUST, I didn't have a super clear vision of my future career. But I did know one thing, and that is I've always enjoyed talking to people and hearing different perspectives. I found that these conversations help me grow and see things from new angles. And over time, I realized that I'm really interested in the people side of things. I like how people work together, how teams function, and how leaders manage and motivate others. I also realized that I'm not particularly passionate about numbers or repetitive work. I prefer something more dynamic, more flexible, and people-focused. That's why I chose to study management. It's a flexible and versatile major that lets you explore the wide range of topics like organizational behavior, negotiation, entrepreneurship, and leadership. The skills you learn here are all practical and valuable in real life. No matter which career path you end up taking, these skills will be useful and relevant. Speaking about what I've gained from studying management, the first thing that comes to my mind is confidence. I've always been quite a shy person, and I didn't enjoy speaking in front of others. I would get nervous just thinking about it. But since many management courses involve group projects and presentations, I was constantly pushed to speak up. And over time, I gradually built up my confidence. I become more comfortable expressing my ideas and sharing my thoughts in front of a large group of people. That confidence is something I never expected to gain, but now I really value it. I'm truly grateful for how much this major helped me grow and push me out of my comfort zone. I also developed many other skills along the way. I improved my soft skills in communication, teamwork, and leadership. On the academic side, I developed hard skills like strategic planning, HR analytics, and understanding business structures, which I was able to apply during my internship. In addition, I learned and gained from a lot of my professors, not just their knowledge, but also their energy and attitude. Their confidence and positivity inspire me to grow not only as a student, but as a person. One thing that I really like about studying management is that it opens up a lot of career paths. Management is a broad and flexible major, so whether you're interested in HR, consulting, operations, startups, or even further studies, there are plenty of opportunities. I previously interned at KPMG in HR and later worked in a consulting role at Disney. These experiences really helped me better understand my strengths and what kind of work I enjoy doing. I also have friends who have gone into areas like strategy, marketing, and entrepreneurship. So if you're still exploring your interests, management is a great starting point because it gives you both the people skills and the business knowledge that are useful in almost any industry. If I could go back and give myself some advice as a year one student, I would say this: be open, be brave, and just try. Management is a major that really values participation, whether it's speaking up in class, working on group projects, or giving presentations. So my first tip is believe in yourself. Even if you're not confident at the start, take small steps, raise your hands, share your ideas, and you will slowly build that confidence. Also, don't be afraid to explore. Take different electives, join clubs and student societies, and talk to people around you. I used to reach out to one of my professors, and those conversations really helped me clarify my direction. Your classmates, professors, and even alumni are all valuable resources. So ask questions, share your thoughts, and learn from others. And most importantly, enjoy the journey. University isn't about getting good grades. It's about discovering who you are, what you care about, and what kind of impact that you want to make in the society. I truly believe that management is more than just a major. It's a mindset. It teaches you how to think critically, lead with empathy, and adapt in a fast-changing world. Whether you end up in business, start your own company, or pursue something completely different, the skills you learn here will stay with you. Thank you so much for having me today. I hope my sharing was helpful, and I wish you all the best in your future journey. Maybe I will see some of you around the campus soon. Thank you.
Okay, okay, thank you very much, Victoria. So, did you have any particular experience that you found that stood out as very interesting for you? Let's get the tech working. Yeah, that'll work. Yeah.
One experience that stood out to me is when I took the courses. It's called MGMT 2130. It's about social responsibility. And I really enjoy that course because of that professor. His teaching style is very engaging. He always asks questions and give small gifts when we answer them correctly. And one of the most funny gifts that I received is Lao Ganma that he bought in China when he teach in mainland China.
I'll have to remember
and
that
he
trick.
really
That's a good
liked
one.
that spicy sauce, so he
Yes.
bought it and gave it to students. And I think that's why it's quite memorable, because I never expect like a foreigner teachers from England to even know this brand,
Right.
which is pretty famous in China, but not in the UK.
Very good. Yeah, it is. It's interesting thinking about the various experiences we have here. It's it's great. Okay, well, thank you very much, Victoria. Okay, okay, that's great. So we're going to wind up here. Yeah. So I guess there's going to be people with some curiosity in the room. You may have some questions in general. So for any questions for now, actually, any issues right now? Well, I can give you some advice. On our ground floor here, we do have some advisors here to give you some specific answers to questions you might have. I showed you some of the options already. They'll give you some much clearer ideas about exactly the kind of things that you might be interested in choosing in our particular program here. So, yeah, feel free to have a look at that. And apart from that, thank you very much, folks. That's great.